What's up, y'all? This is gonna be a short video. It's a nice day outside. Little chilly. I'm wearing sandals. But let's see what we can talk about. I just recently uploaded the Wisdom 3 video on YouTube yesterday, so you can go watch that. So oh look, I like that scarecrow. Quite nice. So it's a peaceful morning. It's interesting, I don't really have that many thoughts in my mind right now. I'm sure they will come. I'm taking a break from Second Life. I have to focus on my health. That's what we can talk about, health. Why is health so important? Well, if you don't take care of yourself, you're gonna abuse everyone else around you. And Second Life, I've noticed you can use this for many reasons, but virtual reality, you can make this avatar as a reflection of how you perceive yourself in a virtual world. And I decided to use my avatar as a reflection of my past life, and she's sort of like a part of me, you know? And the issue with Second Life is it can get a little addictive. And addiction means when the octopus pulls you back to your bad behaviors. You're a good person, but now you have bad behaviors, which can unease your peace of mind and can cause you to act a little, maybe not selfish, but you sort of cage and isolate yourself in a box where it's mainly caused by the interaction with your virtual self. You may not be there for fantasy, or maybe you are. I was there because, I had a deeper meaning to be there. I had to go through a path because, well, it's not very easy to explain beyond mentality and morality, because this is something, it's spiritual. It's the essence. It's something that I've had, since I was a woman in my past life, and that's still that part of who I am, the soul, that remembers is still there. And I use Second Life as a mirror to express that part of me. And it caused me to feel like I was lying to people because I'm not actually what they perceive in Second Life, but in real life. And those are the two illusions. Real life and Second Life are illusions. Because
Good boy. Leave it. Good boy.
a lot of people see this illusion as, physical touch, like physical attraction. You are what you are for like only one life, and when you die, you're no longer there. There's a lot of people that view, you know, themselves as the identity, and it's not exactly, it's very tough, when you fear rejection. You're hiding inside a box and you do not want them to know what you are. That's kind of how it feels, even when that's not what it actually is. The mind will make it feel like that when the perceiver, the soul, you are just existing. You're actually being who you are. Male or woman, it doesn't matter. That's creation. That's the body that creates, something. And it restarts the Big Bang all over again. That's what sex is, you guys. When a man and woman gets together, the Big Bang restarts. It's interesting because, when you create a baby, you're creating your own universe. Isn't that incredible? That is why the mother is so connected to her children. She is God, and you are God too. But the mother is crucial to, the planetary, the space and time and everything, In a way, we are all mothers. That's beyond psychology. That is not, it's not identity at all. We are all mothers and fathers. We're fathers of children, which is, it doesn't have to be, a human. It can be trees. It can be mushrooms. It can be flowers. It can be a sky. It can be a waterfall. Anything. Even cats, dogs, owls, birds, snakes, spiders, anything. Anything you could possibly imagine. So, never limit yourself simply because you're infinite. You are not supposed to belittle yourself because that's the brain talking. That's not who you are. That is what is a part of you. So, Second Life is a very good advantage. It's a very it's a trait to learn how to be wiser, not to stay stupid forever. A lot of people stay stupid, but that's okay. I don't fucking care, because that's why they're not in my life. And that's a part of health, you know. You gotta keep your mentality straight. You can't have anybody fucking it up. Otherwise, they screw up your focus, and they know what you desire, and they take that away from you. It's over. They take away your power by dragging away from yourself. As long as they're around, they'll tell you to dim your light so they can be comfortable. It's like blowing the biggest house up just so the Joker can fit in. So, yeah. It's kind of like blowing a balloon up next to a small balloon. And the big balloon wants to be all big and scary, while physics actually makes the biggest balloon get popped by the smallest balloon. And the smallest balloon rises up and becomes king or queen. And she doesn't, or he doesn't, or they do not pop at all. They actually keep it together because they can handle the fucking chaos, while the narcissist can't. The narcissist uses chaos as fuel. They need drama to survive. They don't give a fuck about health. They only give a fuck about drama. They don't give a fuck if their mentality gets screwed up, because they'll just make up another name, another face. They'll study somebody else and they'll just trap the other person inside their brain. They're not erasing you from your life. They're just trapping your ass inside your own mind all over again. I'm telling you, the most simplest answer comes after 20 times of getting hit by a narcissist. Different times, different people, different years, different months, different ages, you know. They're not erasing you. They're just putting you into your own fucking mind again. And your mind wants to chase that person. That's separation consciousness. When you're not the mind, but the mind seeks the answers that wants to know why this person just left their life out of nowhere, because it wants answers. Don't do that. You already have the answer in front of you and within you. Just kind of meditate, take a step back, and realize, wait, the narcissist doesn't. Oh, the narcissist wants to trap me in my own mind. See? They don't want, see, they want to, that's what isolating means. They want you to be stuck in your own head. The reason why I figured that out is because I had to be a narcissist. It was not fun. I had to become the devil. I had to wear the mask of the devil. See, I'm a diamond in disguise, disguising as the devil. That's why I attracted so many negative, fucked up people, is because, well, when you wear horns and you're horny and you attract a bunch of people who love to fuck, for sex and money and, I don't know, beating on people, isolating them for like fun because it's a show to them, and they laugh at your face because they think that your whole life is a show to them. Well, yeah, those people, you gotta thank them. They taught you a lesson. And, sometimes when you ask for more wisdom, the universe sends you more people that will solve your problems, where you solve that problem because now you realized what they're capable of. So that's all apart mental health. So now physical health. Why is physical health so damn... It's harder than mental health. I will tell you that. Because first off, you gotta focus on your mental health first before you can go to your physical health. That's why it's harder. You might think that mental health is a pain in the ass. It's crazy hard. Yeah, it is crazy hard, but you know what? You gotta discipline your mind first before you can focus on your physical health. Because with a positive mind that focuses on why you started, and you keep reminding yourself why you're still going, is because the results come after. You may not see a difference, but that's why you have to, document your life. You have to record. You make a list. You don't have to be a YouTuber, but you can if you want to. Maybe people will follow you and appreciate what you're doing. And I might actually do that, like I'm doing right now, talking about my life and sharing some wisdom to somebody out there that might actually really need it. And physical health, you have to have a disciplined mind. Without a disciplined mind, your intellect can also kind of sway around into laziness. So you have to be intellectually disciplined. That's what I like to call it. When you're intellectually disciplined, you are able to balance your life. That's because you got rid of the things that imbalanced your life. And you could be taking a break. You don't really necessarily have to get rid of certain things from your entire life unless they're, death threatening. Like drugs, alcohol. Get away from that stuff immediately. Especially cocaine, heroin, all these weird fucking ones they come out with that can kill you in like a day. Don't take that shit. Unless it's a part of a you know, an assignment, a project that you're working on, and you're a professional and you know how many dosages can kill you or not, I just don't recommend it because it's pretty much stupid either way. It's life risking, you know. That's why you gotta just be aware more than being careful, because when you're being aware, you're paying attention. So when you're paying attention, you don't really have to be careful because you're focused. You are already being careful, you know? But being careful to your body means a lot. So, you know, it's like being polite. When people tell you, you're too nasty, you're too rude, be more polite. They're trying to tell you, be more sweet or nice so we can step on you. Kind of like that, you know? And then you can feel that they're holding the knife and they're planning to like stab you in the back when you're too sweet and too nice. Trust me, there's people out there just like that, and they might seem well, but they're kind of fake. Too fake. They play nice, and then once you play nice, they walk away out of your life. Instead of being polite, be respectful. That's even better. Because when you're being respectful, you're also allowing yourself to be authentic. You know, you can tell them the truth. If they get offended, too fucking bad. Too bad. If they don't like what you told them, that's their problem. That's their ego, you know, reflecting, you know, that's their ego reflecting. You know, it's emotional manipulation. That's basically what it is. And it's okay to show your emotions if you're that person, but don't project your fears upon another person, because that's like gaslighting and emotional manipulation. Using your own fear to control somebody. That's how come I know so much about narcissists. You gotta become that in order to destroy them completely. It's like you're taking your enemy's face mask that dropped after slipping off their face, but you're not wearing it, you're just crushing it right in front of them with your sharp eyes, laser eyes like Superman. So, yeah, those are my thoughts to share with other people that might need it to hear that. So, with my life right now, I have to take care of myself. I've been sitting on that goddamn chair forever, and it is incredibly crucial that I focus on myself, because people pleasing, for example, like on Second Life, I've been doing, you know, something that adults usually do, when you go on the streets and you make money. That's probably the best way I could explain something like that in a PG, poetic way, in case there are teenagers watching this and shit. So I really don't want to be that extent, otherwise I'll get in trouble. So see how I think about other people, not just myself? It's being considerate, and a lot of people are not that considerate. They always think about themselves, and when they think about themselves too fucking much, they're no good. I mean, they might be good people, but they're no good for you. Don't be friends with those people. Don't try to get into a relationship with them. Follow your authentic voice. Sometimes the ego can be a tool. Sometimes the ego can be right, but it's not always right. It's called your intuition. And there's a difference between gut feeling and intuition. Your third eye is in your mind. It's a part of your mind. Your gut is a part of you, beyond the body itself. Trust the gut more. It's always right. While the ego that says it's always right, it really just means it's always wrong. See? So, yeah. Now I'm just walking outside, because it's beautiful outside. Even though it's cold, I'm enjoying it. It's better to go outside, work hard, network with the right people, know that they have your back and that they're doing their job because they fucking care, is important, because you're getting places and you don't have to worry about it. The ones who make you worry are the worst. They're not doing a fucking thing. And they mean it. They mean what they say. They're not doing anything. That saying of, oh, we're not doing anything, is the reason you're not getting anywhere. And that's crucial to understand, because if you want someone to be a part of your life, you gotta at least expect you and them to, get somewhere. But if you're not getting anywhere, listen to them. Listen to the that line they just told you on the first day. Oh, we're not doing anything. That's all you need to know. Walk away. That's all. Don't waste time with that person, because sometimes the answers are right in front of you. It's their behaviors and their actions. And of course, if you get lucky and they tell you right in front of you, but then you ignore it, which is completely what most people and most of us did the first time. Don't lie. I'm looking right at you. Don't lie. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to yourself. We all did it. Trust me. Here, trust yourself. We all did it. We had no idea until we realized, oh, this is what they do. You don't pay attention to this right now because you don't know. You don't know them. You pretend like they're joking, but a part of you already knows they're already full of shit, you know? People who tell you things are things that you need to hear, while later on they are all the things that you want to hear. So when you want to hear something, they sort of just lie to your face because you want to hear it, but it means they're not doing a fucking thing. So that is basically psychological manipulation right there. They manipulate your brain by placing a fake bomb in your mind, and once it explodes, it can be either love bombing or betrayal, basically. They put you in your head and you're thinking about it too much, and thinking too much to a point where now you're not focused in the moment. You're too focused on the person. And when you're too focused on the person, they run away from you. It's kind of the same way with twin flame. It's a pain in the ass, it really is. Because when you're too focused on the person, you don't see someone else, you see yourself. That's the delusion. See, let me explain what's the difference between delusion and twin flame journey. Twin flame journey, when you see the person but not yourself, you see the person. Let's go to delusion. When you see the person but you're reflecting your fears onto that person, guess who you see? Yourself. Rewind that video a couple times and you'll realize what I mean. Sometimes you could be the narcissist and you're not aware of it. You know, I've been called a narcissist simply because I may have been a narcissist before. They call, you know, like psychologists. I'll tell you what. If you study psychology, you would know your shit. But if you're someone who does not study psychology, you don't know a fucking thing. But if you tell me or anyone that you know me or where I came from, see how I got silent there? That's why they say the most dangerous person or being in the room is the silent treatment. When you don't know what to say because beyond that point, language doesn't matter. There's only sound and silence. The sound is making noise, that's the drama. The silence is just being. You're just one. You're being one with existence. And the reason people see this as a threat is because they want to. This is how narcissists use their tactics. They use the silent treatment by wearing your face on them. But then the trick is you gotta laugh at them like a clown. Because every time they try to wear someone else's face, they look like they look like shit. They really do. They look like a maniac. They look like as if the Joker from Batman with the scars on his face wasn't the Joker anymore. It was just some kraken trying to crank the car and drive away just to show up at the next person's door with your face on it. Some people are stupid and they actually fall for it, and that's where the drama comes in. That person who meets this person wearing your mask starts believing all the fake shit that they're saying about you, and then the person gets defensive because they're not aware that this person's wearing your mask, which is kind of like blackmailing you at the same time. They're blackmailing your identity. Identity is not who you are, but it's kind of like, it's Grand Theft Identity, basically. That's what I call it. It's not Grand Theft Auto, but it's Grand Theft Identity. They they try to study you, and then they steal the person that you were to their own black magical Sabbath, where now some people will believe that person until over time those people will feel bad because they were lied to the same way. Their face was skinned off alive because it was painful for them to realize that they've been tricked into a massacre, and they realize that this person just took their face just to do the same thing to someone else who doesn't even believe them. And now you meet this person and you guys are talking about it and you're like, holy fucking shit, I knew this person too. And then you realize that you knew each other. You apologize. You guys either become friends, make a community to help people, inspire people, or you just move on and you never really see them again, and that's okay too. But yeah, liars usually just, the more people who witness this, when the king and the queen grows her army, that's when the narcissist comes back. They try to fit in with your crowd, and they try to make rumors about you. This is where politics come from. They try to blackmail you with money or, grief, sorrow. They try to, belittle you. So they create their own community, and then they don't make their own crowd. They're stealing your crowd by telling your crowd you're the devil. Pretty much, right? It's the same thing with Donald Trump. Donald Trump, he didn't steal nobody. It's just, the Democrats, they did the same fucking thing. They stole his crowd to manipulate all of you. And it's the same thing, that's why both sides are so ridicule that they pretty much are the same fucking thing. That's why you can't handle talking about it because you don't know how to explain this. You really don't. You know, there's just too much chaos. But when you listen to somebody like me and other people who've been through hell just to gather this type of wisdom, you'll start to realize and understand the point. I just simplified the point for you. Anyone that comes to this video and you want to listen, if you're a good listener, you will get the point. You will get the point. But if you distract yourself, I would tell you this video is not for you. You should turn it off right now and watch something else. Like music, for example. Or a talk show. But if you want to listen to me and respect me, stop doing what you're doing and just go outside. Listen to what I have to say because it's important. It might actually help you realize the facts are louder than opinions of others. That's what politics kind of do. They kind of gamble between people's opinion and they want us to fight against each other. The only way they gain power is by making war never end. That's how they benefit from that. Every death counts as a investment of a maniac, a coward that is sitting behind a desk computer while sending their little ego minions out into the open field of gunfire. It's a sick way to see it, but yeah, that's basically, that's the ritual of satanic ritualists. They hide behind their fear of fighting with their ego minions, so instead they majestically become the crown of their own needy greed. They don't have to go out there if people are doing it for them. They lost. They fell inside their own grief that became vengeance over time. And they worship their ego like it's king. And whenever somebody is right and they're wrong, guess what they do? They take a bullet into their gun and they fucking shoot you. Or they send somebody to assassinate you. That's what happened to Charlie Kirk. I may not agree with some things, and that's totally fine. But what he was trying to do was trying to direct the population to the fucking point. Why are we whole here? Well, because we are all made for a different purpose, but we're all walking through the same journey on different paths. He was basically like Jesus Christ resurrected. The same soul in a different body tried to direct the population to do better. but he died trying to give the truth. And people see that as, they celebrate that as if he, has been saved, from whatever delusion people come up with. And the other side could also say, oh, they're celebrating his death, when it actually means they're celebrating his death because they wish him well. He can rest now. It's not something bad. That's just how I perceive it. It could be a possibility that's what people meant for him. They celebrate because they want to encourage people that his death meant something. It didn't mean nothing. It meant something because he was telling the fucking truth. And that's what a lot of people usually misunderstand. If you celebrate somebody's death, they think you're a fucking idiot. They are in grief. They're blinded by their own judgments. And there could be people out there who celebrate your death as a good thing, as if they actually wanted you to die. That's different. See, that's different. Because if you're that much of an idiot, you should die. You really should. And I don't wish that on anyone, but all people have free will. We all have a purpose, we all have a reason on doing something, but, that's why pedophiles exist. I don't like pedophiles, they creep me out. At one time I was in the bathroom when I was a kid in high school. One person crawled under the stall, and I tried to ask for help and nobody came. I bet that guy's a pedophile right now today, because I had no idea what the fuck he was trying to do. But, it's kind of no wonder, some women complain about bathroom stalls. You really don't have that much privacy. You really don't. It was all designed by men, basically, yeah. Back in the day, like when a man sees a public bathroom, he wants everybody to have boundaries, so he built a boundary, but that's not privacy. It could be a boundary, but, you don't want someone to hear you taking a shit or hear you peeing, or, there's creepy people who, come into your bathroom and they put like cameras inside and they upload them on like some creepy website to make money. It's actually kind of disturbing, honestly. And, there is a side of me where I'm a little creepy too, where I actually kind of find that hot, but at the same time, yeah, I mean, if it was me taking a piss, it's different. It's a little strange, it's not that, it's definitely not something I would like. But so that's like the same for everyone else. Have decency. You gotta have decency, because sometimes, people, the people that say keep some things to yourself are the ones who are the ones that raped your child. Literally. They keep secrets. They know things. You look in their eyes, they're always looking away. They're a liar. You know? They're a fucking narcissist. That's what they are. They blame other people for their own behaviors. They cannot stand when you're in front of them standing, you know? And, you know, sometimes it is all about being respectful, knowing when you're right and knowing when you're wrong. So, yeah. Focus on your body. Know when it's crucial to step away from something, because sometimes when you do something that's a little inappropriate, it can drain you. It can hurt you mentally and physically. Even when you're making money. Just know, creepy people can fucking sneak into your head, try to control you. I tell this to women too. You know, you could be an escort online. You offer your time and your value to somebody, but they only see you as another play doll, and you take advantage of that opportunity. So you come out with, you know, play doll services, and you try to please all these people to make money. But over time, you get so exhausted because you want to please everybody, but you cannot please everybody. That's greed. You get too desperate. And the universe is trying to tell you, take a goddamn can't even talk. Take a step back. Regain your control. You know, I shared 7 deadly sins to somebody. A quote where I can't remember now, but it's sort of like you could be all 7 deadly sins. That's who you are. And you could offer 7 things that will benefit 7 people that are looking to hire you. After working with 7 people that could drain you immensely, even when they paid you a lot of money, those 7 people are like 7 digits added into a week that requires you to take off a week. Save yourself time to regain your morality and your mentality. Because when you do something like that, it's crucial to your well-being and physical health that you take a fucking break. You know, after a week of pleasing and doing whatever you gotta do, being a dancer or escort, keep in mind that after a week you must allow yourself to take a break for a week. And after that break, you can go back and do your shit for a week. And then again, another week to regain. Because, and that's how I see the 7 deadly sins when you're, doing work like that. And it's kind of like, the same with all work, really. 7 deadly sins. But the way the government wants everyone to do it is grind every 7 fucking days, and that's why it's kind of sinful, because they sink your ass like a boat chained up to a wrecking ball under the deepest water of the earth. And you're trying to swim up, but you can't. You're trapped. You're stuck inside a box of, lies, where you're working 9 to 5 every fucking day of your life. Your body fucking hurts. You're doing what you can to feed your family and pay bills to keep a roof over your heads. But the problem is, they're not allowing you to realize that you can also be a little greedy to feed your fucking family by, charging people more money and advertising what you do, to make people realize why hiring you would be crucial, because that other person might not have the quality that you offer, the value that you give through your hard work. So, you could be somebody struggling right now and you're trying to find a job, but if you have a gift, use it. Find a way. It may not take it might not take a week to do, but you have to start somewhere. Look, if you're lucky, luck in the chamber is kind of like being the rat in the cage. If you think like that, you're never going to get anywhere. You're just going to depend on Jesus Christ to save you, basically. I'm blunt, because the truth will break the chain. And don't focus on luck. Focus on why you're alive. Don't focus on trying to killing yourselves. Don't, if you're feeling suicidal, don't think about that. That's not important. That's because you're thinking about all the people that betrayed you. But that's because now you're allowing them to win. You're allowing these narcissists to make you fall in line with your own gossips in your brain. Your brain talks back to you saying, oh, you're no good. You should kill yourself. That's not who you are. That's the brain talking shit. It's jealous. It doesn't want to step off the throne. You gotta teach it by facing your problems, your fears, which are actually just your powers. That's what fears are, you guys. It's your own goddamn power to face and stand your ground and realize that you can do it. It's just that people make it worse. People are fear projectors. Not everybody is a fear projector, but people can have problems of their own, but they might not realize it, where they'll try to give you an advice, but that's really just more clutter to control the way you think about yourself, because that's just how they work. It doesn't mean you have to work the same way they do unless they were realistic. A lot of people are not realistic, they're all fake. And when I say all, that means some are not fake. So, yeah. Seems like it's been an hour long already, but yep. When you are aware and conscious about people who might be causing your mental health to become worse, build a boundary and kick them out of your life. And then you'll realize how much clarity you receive right after. The amount of peace you gain from kicking someone out of your life, even when your brain starts bringing back the good old memories. That's the hell. That's hell. That's like Lucifer putting your ass in hell. That's basically what that is. The brain projects fears using your good memories by manipulate. Your brain is manipulating you to believe what it is, what it saw already. That's why you have to be aware you're not the brain, because for those who think you're the brain and the brain starts thinking about that, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna go apologize for leaving to the person who did worse to you than good. Don't stay stupid, I'm telling you. You want to be wise, you gotta go through a dark ass path. You're not gonna be a good person. You're gonna have a lot of regrets, but those regrets in return, they turn into clarity. Where clarity, you can share your wisdom to help people, be aware. They still gotta do what you did, because doing what you did, well, it makes them wise too. And they can do the same thing you did, where they build a community and they can share their way of seeing things and thoughts and ideas that you never really thought of before. Everyone's different, you guys. Everyone is different. Everyone has a story to tell. And yeah. So there's a cat here His name is Spot. Mga to, hi. That's a Spot, that's my cat. Their mother died recently. She got ran over by cars. But, you know, a part of me is sad, but the other side is, you know, it's aware that it's aware that when people die, it's not to hold on to them in memories. It's to let them go and be able to go to the other side. It's sort of like how, you know, the Native Americans see it. The natives of Turtle Island, they allow the dead to go on the other side by, you know, celebrating, you know, like a ceremony where it's kind of like, you know, it's not really celebrating, but it's kind of respecting the dead, you know. It's understanding that life cannot be forever. And death must take its place before it plants the seed of life. So death is not necessarily the end. It's the beginning of something new. And every exit you will go alone, but you will be brave to take on the road ahead. The things you left behind, you will not remember, but your soul will. It carries an essence, like a part of what we were. Not in memory, but it carries that of what we built here to the next book we'll write. So, you know, we're all cats, we're all snakes, we're all dragonflies, we're everything, you know. But the reason why the cat is crucial is because we're all curious. We're all curious in a stupid, wise way. You know, a stupid or a wise way, but, you know, we have to be willing to put the work to change. Each life we take grows our spirit. It's not like, you know, growing up. It's more like when you look at the tree, it starts small, but then it strengthens every time it gets taller. It's kind of like a phoenix, you know, when you're going through a dark, you know, a darkness and lightness. There's really no darkness or lightness. You're just infinite. And vibration and sound is a part of what we're experiencing. It is a part of the motion
of evolving. That is what emotion means. You're moving to evolve. That is why they call it emotion. When you're evolving while moving, you are emotional. So you move like the water and the fire sparkling through a flower. You realize that everything that you are focuses on the key of who you are and what you are. That's about it, you guys. Comment down below and share, and please subscribe.